All right, welcome Bring a Trailer viewers. We've got a pretty interesting opportunity here, a 63 split window Corvette, the only year that car was made, of course. This particular car has an interesting story. As you look at the pictures, you'll see some of the pictures that I took are from the inside of this building. We just finished redoing the drywall, and in the process of doing the drywall, the contractor said, "What are you going to do with this space?" I said, "Well, I'm finally going to put some cars back in it. It's been hard to sell all the cars off, so I had time to do the building, and so I'm anxious to get it finished so I can get the cars back in and get the lifts in." He said, "Well, gosh, I've got a Corvette I've had for 20 years. My wife's father had it. We restored it years ago. We really want to sell that." So I immediately gave him some options. We did some research on the car, the values. I went and looked at the car and came to understand it's a pretty interesting story. The car's never been advertised, ever. His wife's father bought the car with a blown motor in the late 60s, 67 or 8, from a young man that actually went off to Vietnam and unfortunately didn't come back. The car was basically fixed with a replacement motor. It's not the original engine. We believe it's the original 2-speed Power Glide transmission. But the gentleman's wife received the car 20 years ago as a gift from her father, and they, over the course of 5 years, had a restorer in the Central Florida market restore the car. And the pictures will speak for themselves, I believe. I'd be happy to answer any other questions you might have about it particularly. But it's just really, I call it a very high-level driver. The car is TMU, true miles unknown. We just don't know how many miles are on it effectively. So you have to consider buying the car on its condition and what was done to it. Because I think the drywall guy did some barter, and it took 5 years. He didn't keep any documents or restoration receipts. But you can easily see there was a lot of work that was done, and the finish on the car, I would give it an 8 to a 9 on a 1 to 10. There's some body fit issues that I think is kind of common with 63 Corvettes. All the forum activity will prove me right or wrong, and I'll live by that. I'm happy to address any of the particulars and specifics in the car, but they had the car restored so that it would just be theirs forever. And after 15 years of storing it and driving it less than 100 miles, they decided it's time for someone else to enjoy the car. So feel free to ask any questions, and I'll follow the auction very closely. I shot some video that should be up also at the same time you watch this. My videos are not for entertainment, they're for education. And I tried to point out all of the flaws and the imperfections on the car so you really understand what it is you're bidding on. But the folks are very realistic in the reserve. They've consigned it to us. They're not familiar with Bring a Trailer, not familiar with auctions. So they were, and of course, after Hurricane Irma, he's a drywall guy. He's pretty busy. So he just didn't have time, and we made arrangements to do a percentage of sale price for my efforts and to interact with you folks and to present the car through photographs and videos. So I hope you appreciate the significance of the story, and if you want to ask any questions, please do so through the forum, and I'll be happy to answer them. And if those of you that don't know me, I use my name on all the forums. I don't use a pseudonym, it's just me, Scott Ailes. And I like to say my folks had a little something in their heads when they named me. My first initial being S for Scott, and my last name is Ailes. So I guess I was destined to be in sales. So thank you.